Hey guys, it's Megan, and welcome to episode 9 of my Wreck This Journal series. But before we get started, I wanted to just make one quick announcement, and that is that I will be going to Playlist Live. So I'm going to be at Playlist Live DC on Saturday, September 2nd and Sunday, September 3rd. So in the comments, let me know if you guys are going, and if you are, maybe I'll meet you there, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say, so without further ado, let's just get into the video. So the first page that I decided to do this week was the sample various substances found in your homepage, and I did get this idea from somebody else, but obviously I used a different picture and different substances, but I created a color by number on the left side of the page, and this I found on the internet, and I just kind of like looked at it and then copied it onto the page. Here's the picture that I used for reference, and obviously I extended that. And so once I finished drawing that, I went over it with a black marker. And on the right side of the page, I numbered it from 1 to 11 because there were 11 colors in the color by number. So on the right side of the page, I basically used that as a key telling you what each color represented or like what each color was. So for number 1, I used the Tarte's lip paint in Swamp Family, and this was from Bunny's collection that she did with Tarte. And for the second color, I did this orange NYX Ombre Lip Duo in Peaches and Cream. And then for the third color, I did a Sephora foundation, which is just a foundation that I have. And then for 4, I did the Urban Decay Electric palette in the color Freak, which is a green color. And then I skipped 5 and 6 for the moment, and I went on to number 7, which was a NYX concealer, and this was in the lightest shade. And I used a slightly darker NYX concealer for number 8. And for number 9, I went back to my Urban Decay Electric palette, and I used the color Gonzo, which is this blue color. And for 10, I used the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the color Cashmere. And for number 11, I went back to my NYX concealer palette and used the darkest color. And for 5 and 6, I kind of cheated a little bit. I mean, these still were substances found in my home, but for 6, I just used a green Crayola marker. And for number 5, I just used a Crayola crayon in the color Forest Green. So then I went ahead and started coloring the picture on the left side of the page, and I started out with the crayon and the marker because I knew that these would be the least messy and the easiest to color with. So I just colored in all of the crayon parts and all of the marker parts. Then I went on to the hard part, which was filling in the parts with makeup. So the first one that I did was the Peaches and Cream color, so that was number 2, and I just filled those all in, and that wasn't too hard. Then I filled in 4, which was the Urban Decay eyeshadow. Then I filled in the bottom part, which was basically all foundation, and the foundation was probably the hardest to work with just because it really didn't spread very well, and I had to spread a lot of it with my fingers, but I still think it came out okay. And I just kept going, filling in each number until the whole entire page was decorated. And so this is how the finished page came out, and this is definitely one of my new favorite pages. And I did cover this with a layer of clear tape because the makeup, it like probably would have smudged if I closed the book and it just would have been a mess. So I just covered it with some clear tape to seal it in. The next page that I did was the Draw Fat Lines and Thin page, and I was inspired by this Skins thing that I got from the dollar store, which is basically just like fur with a sticker on the back, and I thought that this was really cool, and I thought that I would use it for this page. So I just printed out a zebra, and then I traced that onto the fur and cut that out, and I basically tried to make a zebra out of this fur stuff, and it didn't turn out the best, but you know, it was okay. So I went ahead and stuck that into the book, and then I also cut out 2 hearts out of the zebra fabric, and I stuck those on as well. And for the left side of the page, I took that second piece of zebra fabric and I stuck that down, and I did this after doing the poke holes in the pencil page after I poked the holes. But before I actually stuck the fabric down, I took this other zebra that I drew, and it's like a rainbow zebra, and then I flipped it over and traced it on the back and cut that out. And I also traced around 2 hearts that I drew and cut those out as well, because the left side is basically going to be the opposite of the right side and vice versa. So I stuck that down and I cut off the excess that was hanging off of the edges, and then I just went ahead and I glued in the zebra and the 2 hearts. And once the left side was done, I drew some rainbow zebra stripes on the right side. So this is how the finished page came out, and while I was doing this page, I kind of thought that I would hate it, but I actually kind of like it. The next page that I did was the poke holes in this page using a pencil, And so for this one, I wanted to go with like a galaxy theme. I'm not really sure why this made me think of it, but it did. So I just painted a galaxy in the background, and I'm sure if any of you guys were around on YouTube in about 2012, 2013, you probably know how to do this, but it's really easy. You just kind of like paint and then you dab it with a sponge and then you paint some more. And the colors that I used were blue, pink, purple, black, and white, but the first layer I didn't put any white, but in the second layer then I added in some white. So as you can see, once that dried, I just went in and I did the same exact thing, except this time I added some little bits of white. And once that was dry, I added in the stars, and that's what is going to pull this all together and makes it actually look like a galaxy. So I concentrated the stars in the white areas, so I put more stars in the white areas and then just a couple in the other areas. Like wherever it was lighter, say in the white or the lighter pink, I tended to put more stars, but I put less in the black and blue and purple areas. And once that was dry, I actually poked holes in the page using a pencil, and you guys may or may not be able to tell, but I actually added a little bit of glitter paint on the page, and it was like a purple glitter paint, but I spread it out so that it would be more like clear, and I really liked the effect that it gave. And once I finished the zebra page that I just showed you guys, I went ahead and I took some glow-in-the-dark paint and I just filled in the holes. And I thought of leaving the page like it is, but I thought that it looked a little bit plain, so I added this alien drawing that I did, and I did this on a separate sheet of paper and just glued it in there. So this is how the finished page came out, and I do like it, but I think I might add something more to it later, like maybe some planets on the left side with the alien, but overall I'm really happy with this page. The only bad thing about it was that it did get some paint on the previous page, but that's okay, I guess it just makes it more wrecked. So the next few pages I didn't film me doing just because I was away and didn't have my camera with me, but for the create a nonstop line page, I just drew this little cat with a ball of yarn, and the nonstop line is the ball of yarn, and I still have to color the cat though. And we have a cabin, which is where I was when I was away, and there were a bunch of old magazines there, so I cut out some stuff from the magazines, and a lot of them were like from fall, so there's a lot of Halloween stuff, and I just glued that onto this page. And this next page is also unfinished, but it is the slide the journal down a long hallway, and so I did a hallway with a door at the end, and there is Mike, Sully, and Boo from Monsters Inc. behind the door, and I still need to like finish the hallway drawing, and I'll probably do something on the right side of the page, and Mike and Sully came out good, but like Boo, her face is real messed up. And I also decorated the materials page, and this definitely isn't anything special. I know a lot of people do this, but I just drew all of the materials and I drew them in kind of like a border around the list, and then I kind of like put rainbow boxes around the items, and you guys can kind of see what I did. I don't know. I like it though. And the last page that I did was the Collect Dead Bugs Here page, and obviously I cheated and I just used some butterfly stickers, and these I got at the dollar store, but I'm pretty sure they are pictures of real butterflies, and I mean, these butterflies are probably dead by now, so you know, it works. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're not already and you'd like to be, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one, and as always, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and make sure to follow me on Instagram, Musical.ly, Tumblr, and YouNow. They are all Weller Megs, and yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!